Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Connor Reynolds, and this is the Nerdic podcast, episode 195. Joining me as always, Daniel
What's up,
Neverly.
gamers? What's going on?
I feel like we're on a loop. We just did this.
Time Loop.
Technical
Was it
issues.
Happy Death Day or whatever?
Oh, it's a great
That's
movie.
what we're
Both of
living.
them,
Yeah,
actually. Fucking
both of them
good.
were good.
Both of
I
them are
like the
good.
first one more, but the
Yeah,
second one's good.
definitely. Should have made a third one.
They might.
They just put some new movie out that, like, almost had, like, the same plot of that, I felt like, on
Really?
Amazon. Yeah. I can't remember what it was called. Anyways, video games, Daniel.
Video games. Yeah.
Daniel, how do you feel about the Yakuza Animal Crossing stuff?
Okay. Um. So I know you know me as a gamer. I do some side things, but I don't do a ton of side stuff. It depends on what it is. Like if it's loyalty missions, I'll do those. If it's pretty meaningful things, I'll do that kind of side stuff. The Like a Dragon series, they have like big crazy side stuff. So
I
I
was actually
tend to
curious about this. Do they all have something different for like the
yeah
big thing? Because the last one, I got
yeah.
addicted, not addicted, but like I got pretty into that business management thing,
There's always stuff like
in
that.
like a Dragon, yeah. And then I was
That one
seeing in
had a
like two had like a what was it, like a property management type thing,
yeah.
something like
There's
that, yeah.
Zero has like the cabaret club. So like there's two
Ooh,
different ones. So like Zero has like Majima has the cabaret club, and then Kiryu has like this like property thing. Um And then there's like the pocket racing is in a lot of them, where you like can build your little like pocket racer and you go race them and stuff.
oh
There's like
yeah,
a whole
yeah, yeah.
storyline for that. Um,
Last one had go karts. Remember that? Didn't it?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Well, yeah, that and then also that business owner one
yeah.
was probably like the big one for seven. But for eight, yeah, you're getting like the Animal Crossing one. I mean, I've never really been into like farm sims and stuff, but I don't know. I might like look at it and try it. You know.
It sounds fun to me, but the thing I didn't like about Animal Crossing at all was the time thing, you know? How like
Yeah.
you do everything you do in that day, then you come back the next day and then you do everything, and it's like a slow drip feed of what you actually want to do in that game, which is just build up the island and make it all crazy and build relationships and whatnot. So if they got rid of that and put it in this, this Yakuza game, I could see myself being super fucking into that, like that could be a
Yeah.
lot of fun. Although, even if they did keep the time mechanic, I guess you could just go off and like actually play the Yakuza game, and
Yeah.
then come back, so it's like giving me something else to do. So I don't know. I'm very intrigued by that. But yeah, I hope that time mechanic isn't there.
They might have something like that.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure. Like they'll probably have something like that for like planting
And I know people just cheat on Animal Crossing and they like fuck with their
time
time
travelers.
and whatever the hell they're doing. And I was just like, I'm not doing that. It's like a lot
Yeah.
of effort, a lot of effort. I gotta break the game to enjoy this. All right, no, I'm good.
Yeah. I would like to try Stardew more. Like commit to Stardew.
Yeah, I played a good amount of Stardew Valley, probably like 25 hours ish.
That's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good time. I had fun with it. It was I didn't get like super addicted to like making my plants and stuff though in that one.
Yeah. And there's also like combat in that game too,
Yeah.
compared
There's
to
like
like
missions
Animal
and shit.
Crossing.
Yeah.
But like that's what in the new Like a Dragon game, like you could like fight stuff. Like you actually have people come into your
You can
island.
go
You gotta
play the whole
defend it.
game. Yeah,
Yeah.
that does sound really cool though too. That you can put like an arena there and stuff. I'm like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
that sounds fun.
Yeah, and it just like the Ryuga Gotoku, they're just fun. They're gonna have fun with like making an Animal Crossing game.
Yeah,
Like that's just that type of studio. They really put a lot of effort into their side stuff.
looking forward to it, man. End of January, so
It might be my most anticipated game next year.
yeah,
If
coming
I'm
out
being
early
honest.
too. That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah, both like my two anticipated games, other than probably maybe GTA 6 if it does. I don't know, but is this and Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, and they're
Oh
both
yeah,
right in the beginning of the year.
oh yeah. 3D Mario.
Yeah.
I'm locking that in too.
I mean, if it comes out, I don't know.
If
I'd
the new
be so
Switch comes
excited.
out, yeah, that
That's
thinks
true.
so. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. What the fuck else they gonna launch with?
Arms 2.
I mean, they'll probably add that on top of it because why the fuck not? Snipper clips too, you know.
Snipper clips
There you
too.
go.
Let's
Yeah,
go.
hell yeah.
Yeah.
You know, watch Nintendo come out here and it's just not what we all think it is. And it's a completely different type of
I got
console,
it for
you
you.
know.
You ready?
Yeah.
The big game. This would be the big launch game. One,
Yeah.
two, three, four. Switch.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. We're counting all the way to 4 now. Holy
Yeah, kind of
shit.
four now.
Damn.
Yep.
Upgrade right there. Nintendo, man, thinking outside the box. Wow, way to
Yeah,
go.
they are. They always do.
They always do. Always do. They do. It's been another busy week in the world of video games.
Yeah, busy, just games too. Just all these games releasing now.
It's too much. It's too much. You know, with that, it's weird because like after Starfield came out, I was in my mind, I was kind of like, oh, okay, we're done for a while. You know, I was just like, okay.
No,
I was like, oh,
we're just getting
we're
started.
getting a little break here, and like all of a sudden, I just feel like no, it's actually busier than it's been all year, which is kind of crazy to say.
Yeah, we're just getting started.
It's just kind of nuts to say,
I have 2
considering
games
how
within.
much has been out this year.
Oh yeah, I got 2 games coming out this week that I want to play.
Yeah,
Call of Duty and Like a Dragon Gaiden. Both
fuck
come
them.
out this next week.
That's fuck.
It's
All right.
insane.
Our first news story, Daniel. Bloomberg is reporting that Bungie laid off 8% of its staff on Monday. Also, other details about the studio, like that sales were running 45% below projections for this year, and that the layoffs are part of a bigger revamp over at PlayStation. Daniel,
Yeah.
layoffs continue. Here we are again. Another week in a row, we're talking about layoffs.
And it's
It
Bungie,
just keeps
one of the
going.
biggest
Just keeps
studios
going.
out there.
Yeah, 8%. So I think it was around like 100 people actually. So that shows
That's how big they are.
Yeah, that shows how big they are, right? So like, what is that? Like 800 people over?
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
something like that. Like they've been ramping up how many because they have so many projects going on all the time.
Yeah.
That like they have a lot of people there. But yeah, 8%, that's a lot. And it seems like Bungie, or I guess Pete Parsons, the head of Bungie, has basically said that like it was on their own to do this. But like I don't know.
See, that's
Like
weird too, because Jason Schreier was reporting that this is a part of a bigger revamp at Sony.
yeah,
So
I wonder if PlayStation was
I'm
like
guessing it's a little bit of both, you know?
yeah. PlayStation probably was like, this is how like this is your projections. This is your budget and your projections. Do with what you will. And they're like, well, we can't, so we got to lay people off. So PlayStation probably wasn't like lay off the 100 people, but they're like, you got to like tighten it up or something, you know. And
Right.
then Bungie was probably like, all right, well, we got to lay people off then, which is kind of crazy because that's what they said they weren't going to do.
Yeah.
Which makes this whole situation even worse.
Yeah, they said that what, year and a half ago when it was bought out,
Yeah,
right?
right when they got acquired.
Yeah, so
It's
it's
crazy.
like already laying people off, and it's like, you know, I mean, this is happening all over at PlayStation, right? I mean, Sims just last week talked about Media Molecule, and
Seems like them more than any big company.
Yeah.
They really are laying
well,
a
they
lot
shut
of people
down
off.
Pixel Opus this year, right?
Yeah.
I think there was another
Japan studio
There you
recently.
go, yeah. Oh, that was a few years
But
ago
that was
now, like,
probably like a year,
yeah,
little over.
there was another
maybe
one
2 years.
earlier this Naughty Dog. That was it, right?
With the
Couple layoffs,
live
right?
service game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was right around with the problem of the live.
I don't think that was that many people. But regardless,
Yeah.
I mean, that does add up to me. The just try reporting this is part of bigger revamp over at PlayStation. That does add up to me. I think PlayStation have been a very interesting transition phase right now. You know, getting rid of maybe not getting rid, but Jim Ryan retiring, a couple
Connie
other
Booth.
heads, Connie Booth getting out of there. Other people coming in and replacing them now. So I mean, you know, there's a lot of rumors going around that the inside PlayStation Studios are not happy about the whole games as a service push going on, and yeah, so they're definitely transitioning into something else right now. Who knows what that's gonna end up looking like? But you know, it's really interesting because from the outside looking in, we all knew the games as a service push was a bad idea, right? And
We've been talking about it
before any of these even came out. You know, it just seems like it's all falling apart already, you know, and like none of these games have even happened yet, and that should be very scary for PlayStation because you guys have invested a lot of money into this and bought out a couple studios just for this purpose, right?
Yeah, it's so fascinating because it's like the first one they really were pushing was the Last of Us one. now they say it's still in development or something, but a lot of the reports are it's like on ice, right? But then it's like I don't know, I forget who it was. It might have been Schreier, maybe Grubb was like this thing I think is just canceled,
Yeah.
right? And then you have Fair Games, still an awful name. I hate that name with a stupid money sign. You have
But
Fair
the money
Games.
symbol saves it.
Oh my god, it makes it worse. So much worse. You have Fair Games and Concord that like so we didn't even have an official reveal of The Last of Us 1, but these two we did. So they were at least somehow got a little bit further. And it's like, well, Fair Games, that's the only thing we know from that studio, right? That's the what's her name? Jade Raymond studio, right?
Yeah.
I guess is the only game that apparently they've been working on. Like it got this far. Like, does that mean it's gonna come out still? I don't know. I don't even remember who's even making Concord, you know.
Either Firewalk or Fire Sprite.
Okay.
One of
I
the
think it's
two. One of the
Firewalk.
two. Yeah. I know
Um,
people are actually excited about that one. I know Cog from Defining Duke. He's more excited about
he's
that
into
one.
it that one.
Yeah, just because he says the dev team is actually like a lot of veterans from
I think it's a lot of Call of Duty guys, right?
it's actually a lot of Battlefield and Destiny guys. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, we'll see how that one ends up turning
Oh, I'm
out.
thinking of the other studio. That's the Call of Duty people.
Oh,
Um,
I can't remember their name.
yeah,
Deviation.
Deviation. That's the
Yeah,
one that got. Oh, we forgot about them.
yeah,
They were supposedly doing that PlayStation game, and then
yeah.
who knows what happened to that game?
Well, that studio seems like it's
And
fucked.
also that
Yeah,
studio, yeah.
yeah. I don't know if we can necessarily blame PlayStation on that one, right? They don't own them, but I mean, they
I
were
mean, they were
funding
supposed
the
to be.
game, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I was gonna say. They were funding it.
yeah,
But I guess where was I even getting at? I guess like yeah, those two games somehow got a little bit further along, and then it's like okay, they're supposedly trying to get Bungie's expertise into all of this, which makes sense. They have one of the most successful types of this game. But even them in the past, since this is all really happenstance, I know that I don't want it to seem like this is just a PlayStation problem, because Bungie has had problems with Destiny since it released. But it seems like since the PlayStation acquisition of Bungie, for the most part, Destiny has just not been received very well. I don't know if that's just, you know, happenstance and it just happens this way, right? Like where how long they were in development with all of this stuff, who knows? Or if PlayStation actually has a tight grip on them and it's affecting how they're doing things. I have no idea. If they're doing too many things, maybe. I have no idea. But it seems like since their acquisition, Bungie has not been in the biggest, or people haven't really liked it as much.
yeah. It seems like that Lightfall expansion came out, and it wasn't really. It didn't seem like everyone like completely hated it, but it really wasn't like this brand new great
It was
Destiny
not received well.
expansion that people really enjoyed and really fucked with, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, which is interesting. I mean, that's kind of the only thing they put out on their PlayStation
Yeah.
thus far, right? So
Which is crazy because Witch Queen the year before was
yeah,
awesome.
was
Witch
awesome.
Queen was
Yeah.
an awesome expansion for them.
So
And then
you
yeah,
tell me, does this happen with Destiny? Like, does it ebb and flow like this?
a
You know,
little
you
bit.
because you've been playing since the beginning, right? Pretty much
Yeah, a
with
little.
Destiny One.
Oh yeah, I mean I've been playing since
Yeah,
beta.
yeah,
Um, it definitely ebbs and flows. I've generally been more positive, especially about Destiny One. Destiny One had its problems and it had like lack of content and things like that. But like I don't know, I generally am way more positive for the most part about all of kind of Destiny One. But there is its ups and downs. Destiny Two in particular has definitely been more up and down, even before the acquisition and stuff. But it really feels like right before right before Lightfall, but then when Lightfall hit, and then it doesn't seem like it has really gone back up in any way. It just feels like it has just dipped in quality. Like the game, see, I've pretty much played Lightfall and then haven't done any of the seasonal stuff, but it seems like people are having a problem with just how the game runs, which that's just not been a problem really.
interesting. Yeah,
Yeah, the game is just seems like it's buggier than Destiny has ever been. Um, they are vaulting a lot of content, which people don't like. So they're vault some of the older expansions, so you can't even like play certain things anymore, like or even certain guns and stuff like that. Maps. It's like I don't know what's up with Bungie. They're a studio that means very much to me. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's the PlayStation thing or it's their own volition. I don't know.
So in that report as well, then, it's reported that the final shape Destiny's next DLC, Destiny 2's next big DLC, next big expansion, has been delayed till sometime in the second half of 2024, and then that Marathon, Bungie's next game, has been delayed just straight up till 2025, at some point. So
Yeah.
again, that's going along with the layoffs, taking even longer here. And then there's also been reports, me and you were just talking about before the show, that people have played Marathon, certain, you know, I'm assuming well-known
Playtesters.
Destiny fans and playtesters and stuff like that have played Marathon, and it didn't get glowing responses that you'd respect there. I think I read the gunplay feels good, but just the content isn't there or something like that. So
You'd expect that though.
yeah,
Like Bungie doesn't miss with how a game plays.
yeah, I mean, how could they at this point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, add all that on top of this, right? And certainly layoffs aren't going to help that situation.
No. No. How could it? How could you take people away and then it help?
Right.
That doesn't. Yeah. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah. I don't know what's really happening, and it's yeah, like we said, even at the top, this is not just a PlayStation issue. Even though we're kind of like talking about them a lot because they've seemed to be doing a lot more layoffs than a lot of other people.
Yeah, I
But
mean, shit. At this point, I
this
mean,
is
it's the
not just
second week
them.
in a row I gotta come on here and talk about PlayStation laying off people, right? And so it's
Yeah.
and I know Bungie or whatever apparently laid them off and stuff, but they'd have to go through PlayStation to do this. So
Yeah.
yeah,
But this is
it's
happening industry wide.
yeah,
It's
definitely. I
basically what
mean,
I was going to say. Like it isn't just PlayStation, even though they seem to be the most right now. Um,
from
but
what I
yeah, it's
understand, it's tech wide, right? Like not
or even
not even
tech
just
wide.
in
Yeah,
video games,
yeah,
right? Like it seems like a lot of people are just getting laid off in tech everywhere.
yeah. Even just like Microsoft. Not, I know they did a little bit of their gaming division, but like Microsoft is just their
Yeah,
tech side just laid off a bunch of people. Amazon has. They all have. Google.
yeah,
Everyone's I think hired way too many people,
yeah.
and now they're like, well, we all the millions that we keep making, we can't pay for these people. Why would we do that? Let's
Exactly,
just
right.
fire them. Fire these people. Yeah, it's not like Bungie doesn't have the
God
money to do
forbid
that.
our executives and CEOs and shareholders take a cut.
Keep making
Yeah,
the millions. Yeah,
yeah, it's no,
got to keep making
we
the
gotta
millions.
lay off people, yeah.
Insane.
So yeah, I mean, look, man, I'm not like a businessman or anything. I'm not gonna like give advice or try to act like I know exactly what's going on there. So but yeah, it's a shame. I hope all these people can find new jobs and stuff. Luckily, there are new studios popping up left and right these
All the
days.
time.
Right? Yeah, we see it all the time. Big directors leaving and going forming their own studios somewhere. And I think a lot of people are just like seeing like, hey, eventually we can get bought out by an Xbox, by a PlayStation, by a Tencent or something like that, right? So I think a lot of people are just popping up with new studios. So hopefully it'll be pretty easy for these people to find new jobs. I gotta imagine you put that you worked at Bungie for a little while on your resume. That's pretty glowing, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, I'd imagine a lot of these people won't have too difficult of a time finding jobs, but good luck to them.
Yeah. Yeah.
They also
I guess
laid off the music composer, right? They
I was
yeah.
gonna get there.
Oh, were you okay? Yeah.
I mean, eventually, that was gonna be the kind of the ending point. But before I guess we get to that, I mean, what do you think that this is going to do to, I guess, the direction of PlayStation? Like,
Yeah.
do you think that they still have to commit? Like, because how much money you can
At least
potentially make?
somewhat. Here's what I would do, right? Fair Games, Concord, they have to go, right? Those have to come out and
They're
hopefully
probably
be
too
good.
far along.
Too far along, and you bought out studios. Those are studios you bought specifically to make live service games. So keep them on live service games because those are people that want to make live service games, right? You would assume at
Them
least
and Bungie, right?
them Bungie and yeah, and you also got the London studios. Those guys are making a free to play game. That one
Oh yeah,
thing,
yeah.
yeah. Keep that going too. The ones you got in the pipeline that are already in the process of being made, keep those. And hopefully one of them works, and then you get your live service money from one of those, right? Bungie, of course, is always going to make these live service games, so keep them doing them, right? Although you did just lay all them off, and then keep that, and then everyone else. Let's go back. We're doing what we know. We're making single player third person action games. It's just that's what PlayStation does. That's what we're doing.
Okay.
And it sounds like from the rumors and stuff that any studio that the PlayStation may have been trying to force to make a live service game, it sounds like they don't want to. It doesn't. Clearly at Naughty Dog, it doesn't sound like they really want to be making this, or at least they hired a bunch of people on, but it sounds like they laid off most of those people now, anyways. That actually wanted to make the live service game. So basically,
It's
if
kind of
you
crazy.
don't
Yeah.
want to be making a live service game, do not force anyone. I'd pull back on that. Because it's just not going to work. We see them fail left and right. And these live service games, they're just a money sink. They really are, because you have to constantly keep providing. Look how many people work at Bungie, right? And like that's kind of amazing to me, because like for me, Bungie hasn't really put out anything since Destiny 2. And I know I'm completely wrong on that, and they're constantly working on updates and expansions on that. But like for me, I haven't had a Bungie game in 5 years already, or 6 years almost, right? And so I'm just like sitting there like, how do 800 people work there and I haven't gotten a new Bungie game in however long, right? And so I would just keep the live service thing on the side, keep a small amount of those games going, and then go back to doing what PlayStation is good at.
I mean, they just had Neil Druckmann just like, oh, the live service game is going great or whatever. We're gonna
Right.
reveal it next year or whatever he said.
And
Like,
clearly wasn't. And I know Naughty Dog has always had an interest in multiplayer, right? They've always tacked on those ones in
yeah,
Uncharted and The Last of Us
for a
one.
while.
Yeah, for a while. So I'm sure there's people there that are interested in making a multiplayer game. But that's just not what Naughty Dog wants. Or that's not what Naughty Dog does, right? And that's not what anyone that's a Naughty Dog fan wants from Naughty Dog, right? And none of us really care. None of us really want that. I know there's people out there that are like, "Oh, I'd love to play a new Last of Us multiplayer game because I love factions." It's like, yeah, you liked factions, fine, but like factions, like we talk about that now, like it was like the
It was a
biggest
good
thing in the
multiplayer.
world. Yeah, it was good. Don't get me wrong, but like it wasn't like I just feel like now people look back on it like, oh man, what a time! All of us, the boys, hopping on to play Last of Us factions. Like that is not what was happening there. Like that was a tacked on multiplayer mode that very few people ended up actually playing and enjoying.
Yeah, I mean, I'm mostly with you there. Even though I like factions, I think I'm mostly with you there.
Yeah, but what do you think? Like, where do you want them to go?
I mean, if I was the head of PlayStation,
Sure.
um, well, yeah, you're right with Concord and Fair Games. Um, I think that they should have just had the foresight of, if we're going to buy Bungie, we might as well just only have them and put the resources into them, right? Like that should have just been the whole. If you're going to have a live service game, just be them and that's it, right?
It's just not
But
enough when you're competing with these other guys, though, right?
but but if you take a step back, they don't need to do that. They're already succeeding very well,
Sure. Yeah.
right? They're selling consoles,
So
they're selling
clearly, they
games.
don't think they're making enough money off of the single player games.
Yeah, I think where they need, if it's money, then they need to go into the mobile space, not just free to play.
Mm.
Go make more mobile games. See, Activision as a company is a very interesting company, but people criticize how much they put into Call of Duty and all that, but it's like, think about Call of Duty has a three-prong game or series right now. It's main game, campaign, multiplayer. It's free to play Warzone. It's Call of Duty Mobile. And they're making money everywhere you can play, with Xbox and maybe all their cloud stuff. Maybe even more people somehow could be playing Call of Duty that isn't just on their phone or whatever. Like it could just be on their TV. Like that's how they're doing it there. So PlayStation, they just need to maybe get some more mobile stuff. I don't know. They need to start tapping into the shooter space. That's where they're really going to start being behind, because a lot of people just like to play shooters. Um, which I guess is what they're doing with Concord and Fair Games. But I think they just need to tap into Bungie more with live service stuff, and then keep. What does Naughty Dog want to make? Is it make 10 more Last of Us games? Well, fantastic. I guess let them do that, but don't force them to make a multiplayer thing that they don't really want to make, unless they want to have it as a mode, you know? Or like, I don't know. But then Like, were they actually, was Naughty Dog in particular pushed because it sounded like they wanted to do a multiplayer project, especially what 2019 is that when they announced that it would be separate
Yeah,
from
probably around then.
Last of Us 2. It's like, so it sounds like they still kind of wanted to do a multiplayer thing. They just couldn't fit it into Last of Us 2, which I don't. Should they have just delayed Last of Us 2 then? Just kind of have it as one big, awesome project. But
If I had to guess, like, I mean, big theory, I guess, but like, I think maybe they had the multiplayer mode, and PlayStation was like, "Hey, can we turn this into a
turn it
live
into
service
something
thing?"
else. Yeah.
Yeah, like maybe they liked the multiplayer mode they had, but they were like, "Hey, let's make this to a live service thing. That way, it's constant money turner, right?"
Yeah, it's entirely possible for
Yeah,
sure. So I guess ultimately, like I'm always about what does the developer want to make? Let them make that. Um, but I guess you kind of have to reel them in sometimes because sometimes a lot of these devs try to make something outside of their genre. Sometimes it works and sometimes it just doesn't, right?
yeah.
Like I guess you can't always judge that though, if it's multiplayer or if it's a different perspective, like CD Projekt hopping from third person to first person, fantasy to sci-fi. Like they did that and it worked. But with Gorilla's a big one that worked for Gorilla, jumping from a first person sci-fi game to a third person action, fantasy game. So yeah, I think that they should. If PlayStation, if they're looking into the future and they think that they're in trouble, which is what it seems like in terms of money, at the top end, then they're gonna keep sticking with the plan, and I'm assuming they're gonna double down on mobile because I what 2 years ago they bought that mobile or a few mobile things
Yeah.
a few years ago I think. So we haven't really seen what that's even supposed to be about. So yeah, they
That
yeah, it
studio
seems
as
like
well
that.
had trouble, right? The two lead guys on that I can't remember the name of that studio, but they left.
Yeah,
And I mean, that
that's
was a
true.
little while ago now, but
That's true. Yeah.
I don't know, man. They're in such an interesting spot right now because we currently have no release dates for any first party PlayStation games.
It's really just like Wolverine
And
2024.
we really don't even know what next year looks like. Like, does Fair Games or Concord come out next year? No idea.
At this point, I don't think
No
so.
idea. Does Wolverine make next year? No idea. We have no idea. It's
I have faith in that team, but like, because that is the Miles Morales team. But
certainly,
like,
but like if they need a little while, I mean, I
then
could
what does
see that game
PlayStation have?
easily getting delayed to 2025. Nothing,
They have nothing.
right? Right? Yeah, nothing.
They barely had much this year.
Yeah.
I'm not to make it a console war thing. Like they had 2 games this year. One of them was a VR game that few people end up actually playing, and then they had Spider-Man 2, which is awesome and it's selling well. And it's like, oh man, like having one good game like that's good, but for PlayStation, it's not enough for them. Clearly, right?
Right.
Like, so what do they have? What are all these teams doing? What is Sucker Punch doing?
Yeah.
What is Naughty Dog doing? Naughty Dog's been sitting for 3 years. What are they doing?
And
We
speaking of the
don't
other
know.
teams, like I wonder, should they start worrying about the layoffs? Like is PlayStation gonna come
Yeah,
knocking on their door in a couple days here and just being like, we gotta lay a few people off here? Sucker Punch have to
Insomniac's
lay off some people.
huge.
Insomniac have to lay off a few people. Yeah, it's good. Like I wouldn't be surprised if next week we're talking about another studio inside the PlayStation family that had to go through a few
I would
layoffs.
keep your eye on Insomniac. I know they just released something.
Yeah,
Keep your eye on Insomniac. They're
for
huge.
sure. They are huge. They have 3 teams, right?
Yeah, 3 teams, 2 different studios.
Yeah.
Like one in
Gorilla
North
too.
Carolina.
Gorilla's fucking huge.
Gorilla's huge too, and they're
Firewalk,
international.
that one they just bought, that's a fucking big
I
studio.
oh
That
yeah,
Firewalk has
we were
thousands of
like they were
employees.
surprisingly huge. Remember
Yeah,
we
yeah,
talked
yeah,
about that.
yeah. Because Firewalk works on a bunch of different shit. So it's they
Yeah.
have thousands of people over there. It's like I wouldn't be surprised if a few of them got laid off. It's gotta be a scary time if you're in one
Oh
of those
boy.
studios right now.
Well, even think. I know this is even different. Think about being a new game developer. You're like fresh out of school, even. You're 20. Say you just went to school for 4 years. You're 22, or even 23, something like that. And you're like, I got to get a job. It's like, what do you? So what do you do?
All right,
You're gonna go try to work for an indie team? Maybe is that your goal?
maybe.
Because it's like you go to work at these studios, they're firing everyone.
Yeah.
We don't really see that many indie teams firing a lot of people, like some of our favorites.
Not that
Like
we hear about, at least,
not
right?
that we hear about.
Yeah.
Like is Supergiant like losing their 25 people? I don't
Yeah.
think so.
No, I
You
mean,
know?
they can't, right?
No, they can't.
Yeah.
You're
It's
right.
like,
They can't.
who's gonna fucking make the Hades too?
That's very true.
Yeah.
Um,
But I mean, luckily, like we were talking about before, there are new studios popping up every day and stuff like that. So I don't. I think you could still find jobs, right? Especially right now. I wouldn't worry about that like too much. Although I don't know. I'm not. I could be talking on my ass right now.
I
I
mean, I
have no
think
idea, right?
everyone's always kind of hiring every now and
Right.
then. You
Yeah.
know. I guess the last thing that we'll talk about because you brought it up, I was going to bring it up, is Michael Salvatore
Yeah.
supposedly being a part of this. Are you joking me?
I think it was confirmed as well that
Yeah, I
he
know.
did get laid off. Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Crazy.
That's nuts.
So he
That
worked
is
on the entire Halo trilogy and then
he
moved
was
to
he
Destiny.
was so it was the duo of Marty O'Donnell and Salvatore, and he was I guess that I think Marty's was a little bit like higher up during like the Halo days. So I think that he was kind of just helping Marty a lot, but he was like the kind of an unsung hero there. And then and then Marty went and was doing Destiny 1 with them, and also Michael was as well. And then Marty, all the stuff with Bungie, if you kind of remember that, he kind of left, and there was like that lawsuit. I still think he was getting paid some royalties and stuff. He kind of left Bungie, and then Michael took over, and he's been the composer, I think, for a while now, at least since 2 and stuff. And he's been killing it. You listen to like some of just his own stuff without Marty, it's like, man, this dude's killing it. It's like he's just picking up that baton right from Marty, and they let him, they fire him or whatever, lay him off. Are you kidding me? When you think of Bungie, Connor, what's top 3 things you think of Bungie?
Oh, definitely the music, right?
The music.
Yeah.
They're some of the greatest, all of their stuff, Halo and Destiny, some of the greatest music in video game history. It's legendary. And you're gonna let this man go? Then what's the point?
Crazy.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Somebody
saw a
that
lot of
would
people throwing this out there, but 343 should pick up the phone for that guy, right?
do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, hire him, of course. Like this man's a legend in the industry, a legendary composer, and you're just gonna let him go. Oh, we don't need music in our games, whatever. Insane.
Whatever. It's just dead silent. The next step, the expansion.
No
you make,
sound, no
nothing,
music,
nothing.
nothing. That's what we're gonna do for the new expansion. What is it? Yeah, what's the new the final shape?
Final
Shapes
shape,
have no
yeah.
music.
No
No
music.
music.
Fuck the
It's
music.
all done.
Whatever. And no voice acting either, because all the actors are going
Yeah.
on strike.
Yeah. Oh yeah, exactly.
The
No
game's actually
voice,
just silent. We're
just
actually
sound
going for a
effects.
new
All you just
thing
hear is the
here.
gun shooting.
Yeah. That'll be great.
Crazy.
All right.
Oh
Well,
man, that fired me up too much. I'm sorry.
oh, you're good. All right. Let's move on here. Going over the fun world of Xbox. The new Game Pass drop for the month of November has been confirmed with games
Oh.
like Thirsty Suitors on November 2nd, which I was very excited about. Like a Dragon Gaiden on November 9th. We knew about
Let's
that
go.
one. And then Wild
go.
Hearts also coming out on November 9th. I also saw
Which
Roller
makes sense.
Drome is coming to Xbox and also dropping day one on Game Pass. So not day one.
Yeah, I never
necessarily,
checked that
but,
one out.
Yeah, that PlayStation exclusive from last year. It's that's coming out November 28th. So
Yeah, this is the Ollie Ollie team, right?
oh yeah, that was them. Yeah,
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 'cause they put out 2
yeah,
games
that
last
3D
year.
game. Yeah, fun game. Really
Um,
fun game actually.
Yeah, I do want to
Bit
kind of check
hard.
this
Yeah,
game out.
bit difficult. Yeah, when it's on Game Pass, definitely give it a download.
Yeah. Yeah, this is some good games here.
I was stoked to see Thirsty Shooters. I didn't even know that game was coming to fucking Xbox. So then,
They've been like on the tip of this game is supposed to be releasing all year, so it's
Yeah.
like we've been waiting to see it, and
Yeah, I was stoked.
they took some money for Game Pass, which is great.
Yeah, and then the Jasant game that just came out on
That just
Game
came out,
Pass.
yep.
Yeah, I really want to check that game out. That came out a couple days ago now. So
Yeah.
big month for Game Pass. They're making a lot of really smart moves on Game Pass right now.
Small games, yeah.
Yeah, with the smaller games and also games that people are really excited for, or at least it seems like, maybe our hardcore gaming community is really excited for. Thirsty Suitors has been something people have been talking about for, like you said, the last year. Wild Hearts is a game that maybe didn't get enough of an audience, but
That's part of the EA stuff,
Right,
and it's
right.
like it just had Dead Space remake come out because that's I forget the exact we talk about. I forget is it like
it's
6 months maybe?
Yeah, it's 6
So
months. Yeah.
yeah, we just got Dead Space remake recently or a couple weeks ago, within the past couple weeks, and then now we're getting Wild Hearts, which is a game looked cool, but like I'm kind of just waiting for. I guess for me to dive into like a Monster Hunter game, I might just wait for Monster Hunter World 2, you
Sure.
know?
Yeah. Which actually, Capcom said that they're releasing a big game that they have yet to announce before March, sometime this year. So or
Monster Hunter
next year.
World came
So
out, I think, in January.
yeah. So could be that. Could be that. That'd
Price
be an interesting move. Maybe they announce it at the Game Awards and then it comes out in like February, March. I could see that.
Oh, dude, Capcom just knows what they're doing, don't they?
Yeah.
They're gonna do a big announcement, and it's gonna just Monster Hunter January, whatever.
Yeah.
It's like be ready, you know.
Be fucking ready.
And then guess what? Prince of Persia, no one's gonna buy it now because it's coming out in January, same day. It's Prince of Persia.
And then like Dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his name, November
Oh,
9th.
let's
I know you're
go.
very excited for that.
Let's go, dude. Kiryu coming back?
Yeah.
I get to play Kiryu again, punching fools. Yeah, excited.
Let's go. Exciting times. All right. Well,
And I do
little
want to say
Game
too,
Pass drop.
I want to spice this in here with that game.
Yeah.
If you're not wanting to play it on Game Pass, it is a budget game. It's slightly cheaper. It's $50. It's a $50 game. Just throwing that out there.
Oh, the man who erased his name. Oh, okay. Gotcha,
Yeah,
gotcha,
like
gotcha.
Gaiden is $50. It's
Yeah.
not full 70 or 60.
Cool. Bit of a shorter length.
Yeah, that's what they
yeah.
said. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Next up then, in a public note to investors, Remedy Entertainment gave some new information about its upcoming projects.
I didn't really look too much into this. I'm excited to hear what you got to say.
Cool. Well, first up then, Control 2 is in the proof of concept stage and will be for the next few quarters. Yeah. So
Okay.
that's the first one they mentioned there.
That's rough.
It actually
Thought we'd
seems
get
like
that
this
sooner.
Control 2 is the furthest behind of what we're about to talk
Yeah.
about here.
Okay.
Maybe not behind, but and maybe they intended it that way, you know? I'm
It
not
could be
entirely
because there's
sure.
that 4-player multiplayer project that was supposed to like.
Well, it's here. We'll talk about it, yeah. Well, here, let me just move to that one. Oh god, it doesn't name which one is which. Okay, well, Condor is another code name for a project that is in the production readiness stage, and I
Okay.
think that is the multiplayer one.
Okay.
That is the player control universe multiplayer game, and that is in the
Gotcha.
production readiness stage. So they will move into development on that one next. I still don't know how I feel about that one. It sounds they straight up said in that investor thing that this is a live service game. So
Yeah.
interesting take for Remedy to go and try that now.
Big is publishing this too.
I think it's 505.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because they've been doing a lot of weird publishing deals.
So
like,
the
they've been
Epic deal
dipping.
just ended with Alan Wake 2
Okay.
releasing. Epic did a deal with Remedy a couple years back to
Yeah.
they're making a smaller game, which we now know was Alan Wake remastered, and then they also published Alan Wake 2. So Epic was on board for that. Who knows if they'll make another deal with them for something else in the future? But yeah, Remedy is out of the Epic deal at the moment.
Yeah, they see this is where Remedy might not really need that many layoffs because they're very smart. Their games are not that expensive to make. They're making good money, and they're just taking money from other who wants to publish. You know,
Yeah.
like until they get bought. You know, like maybe still Xbox might buy them. Who knows? Like they should have a while ago, but
Yeah, I was kind of gonna get into that, but like they are free now of that Epic deal, so I do wonder if one of these companies
Microsoft
is looking at them very closely now
Yeah.
for an acquisition. You know, I wouldn't be surprised to see them get bought up here, especially with Alan Wake 2. We'll talk about it later, but releasing to critical acclaim. We'll see if how well it sells, right?
I don't really think they've ever missed.
Not really, no.
I don't think Quantum Break's a good game.
I like
really
Quantum
like
Break, yeah.
I think that game gets some weird like people think it's just okay.
I think
that's
the
a good
TV
game.
stuff was a bit of a misstep, you know. I kind of
Sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think they could have handled that a little bit better. Maybe not made a whole TV show, but
Do it
it-
separate maybe.
it's a good game. Yeah, it's I don't think it's Remedy's best game by any means, but
No.
it's a good game. Yeah, I definitely don't think that's a bad game at all. But yeah, I do definitely wonder if people are looking at these guys for acquisitions
Somebody is. I guarantee you.
for sure. Then Codename Vanguard is their next project that's listed here. This is we have no idea what this one is. This is it's some sort of new thing, and this one seems to be the furthest out. So that one is in, where is it? Aiming to complete proof of concept stage by the end of the year. So still in proof of concept
Oh,
stage.
I'm I'm gonna throw it out there.
Yeah.
This is like we're gonna maybe try to merge a little now
Ooh,
with their
that
universe
whole
stuff.
universe stuff.
Not a
Yeah.
not a. I'm not gonna throw out like an Infinity War. That's too like cliche at this
Too
point.
much. Yeah.
But like have Jesse and Alan, I guess in the new saga character, whatever. I haven't really even played Alan Wake 2 yet, but like have all of these, maybe even the Quantum Break people. Who knows? But like
Quantum
have
Break's in a
them.
different universe,
But I
unfortunately.
heard, yeah,
It's
isn't there some weird stuff? I don't
there's
know.
weird remedy stuff. You could get around it in a way, but
Feel like they did with Alan Wake. So
yeah.
yeah,
I mean, literally, there's a scene in Quantum Break where they're talking about the plot of Alan Wake. There's like you can walk into like it's like a class going on, and they're talking about the plot of Alan Wake in there,
that's
and
awesome.
yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, they could find a way to do that. What I'm interested in, well, here, let's bring the next one. And Max Payne 1 and 2 remakes are in the
Oh yeah, yeah,
production
yeah.
readiness stage, so that actually seems to be the furthest along here.
So maybe next year.
I wouldn't.
You don't even think next year?
No, I don't think 2024. I think that's a bit too early. But Rockstar is publishing this game, so
See,
which
taking
is
that
very
Rockstar money.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is very interesting, and I'm
Well, they
very
own the rights. That's
curious.
why.
I'm very yeah, exactly. But I'm very curious to see if they tie in Max Payne into the whole Remedy universe now. I think
Dude, my boy.
I think you could
Let's
do
go.
that. Yeah, I think there's a way to do, especially playing Alan Wake 2 now. I'm like, I think you guys could definitely figure that out if they wanted to. And I could definitely see a world where Rockstar's just like, yeah, go ahead, just you guys pretty much just own Max Payne, because we're not ever gonna do shit with it again. So yeah, it's I could
I
see a
wonder
world where
why
they
they
do that.
wouldn't. I wonder how good 3
Rockstar,
did for them. Yeah.
I don't know, but like
Is it
I don't ever
reviewed
see
well?
Rockstar getting off of GTA and Red Dead. I think
You don't think we're gonna get like a? I know that this is everybody's just wanted this. We're not gonna get another bully or even like a bully like game, something
I don't think so.
different.
I think
No.
Red Dead clearly makes hella money now, right? Not nearly as much as GTA, but still a lot, right? That game, I think Red Dead 2 is in like the 40 million copies sold
Yeah,
now. So I
it's a
mean,
lot.
yeah, and that online did decently well for them, not as well as GTA
Yeah.
again, but and then obviously GTA is the biggest game ever, right? So it's and with how long their cycles take to make a new game now and how much they need to support the online services, I don't ever see them going and making something smaller again, which sucks. I mean, I wish they would, but yeah, I don't see that ever happening personally.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm kind of with you there.
But these remakes, I think these are going to be fucking awesome when we get there. I think
Is it supposed to be one package, right? Isn't
yeah,
that kind of
yeah, it's gonna be one
the
package. Yeah,
rumor?
yeah,
Yeah.
made in the Northlight engine, so it's gonna look as beautiful as Alan Wake 2 does, if not even better. And yeah, I think that's gonna be awesome.
That will be awesome. Yeah. Playing like kind of their more modern stuff. I'm sure those first 2 games play well now, but like yeah,
I
having them
never
a little
played
more
them. I've
modern.
only played Max Payne 3, so
I've only beat Max Payne 3. Yeah.
yeah,
So I'm kind of there with you,
yeah,
but like I'd like to go and play a modern version of those two. Sure.
yeah, me too.
The game it's I think those are 2 games that could be used a touch up. They're just original Xbox games, you know.
Yeah, and I think that could lead to really high sales in this too. Like Max Payne is a pretty well known name in you know
Sure. I
yeah
think
in
Remedy is
entertainment.
just rising with,
With each
their
game.
cachet as well,
Yeah,
which is kind of weird because we've talked about how not how well my mouth is just I can't even speak.
I'm there
How
too today. I
Control
don't know what's going on.
yeah, I don't know. How Control didn't really sell until after its like normal sell cycle, right?
Yeah,
It sold well way after you would think it
word
would.
of mouth
So,
really helped that game.
yes.
Yeah,
So I think after that point, and then now Alan Wake 2, right? It's like now I think Remedy is starting to maybe, get to their peak now.
for sure. Yeah,
Just crazy for how long this studio's been around.
yeah,
It's crazy.
many years. So yeah, exciting to see. Very excited to see what Remedy's cooking up next. I like how open they're being. It's I
That
I
just feels like
prefer
that's the
either
studio.
this or you don't announce your game
Or
until
you're
like
Rockstar.
don't be Rockstar.
Don't be
Don't be
Rockstar.
fucking Rockstar. I'd prefer either this, like we know everything, right? That's going on. We know your next like fucking. This is probably their next what 10 years here, maybe right around there. Maybe a little bit
yeah.
less than that. But
Maybe a little less.
I'd prefer either this or you don't announce your game until it's just about done, right?
For sure.
Yeah, one
I'm
of
more
those.
that.
Yeah,
I'm more like, you don't need to say too much for me.
This is
Just
very
announce your
much
game release.
like the movie business, you know? Like we know
Yeah,
everything that's going on there
actors, yeah,
before
all
you
that
even
stuff. Yeah.
start making it, you know? And yeah, then the other side of it I'd prefer is announce it 6 months before it's coming out.
Yeah, I don't know what secret sauce Remedy has right now, but like, seems like they're announcing things, putting things out.
Yeah.
Like Alan Wake 2, by the time like when they announced it, it has come out very quickly, and I much prefer that.
Yeah. I mean, when was that announced? Game Awards 2021, right?
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
No, wait,
No, yeah.
no, it was
2021.
it was last year.
Was it?
I think it was last year.
No, I think it was the year before.
I
Because
don't
the year
know.
before it was the same one with the Wonder Woman and the
Oh
something else
yes,
got announced right
you're
around there.
right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. Remember they like put them all in the first like 15 minutes. It was like
Yeah,
super hype first 15 minutes and then the game Awards and then it just
that
fell
was
off.
Hellblade. You get that we got that big
Yeah, yeah,
Hellblade
yeah,
2
yeah, yeah,
thing
yeah.
was like the end of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. It was 2021. It feels quicker, I guess, maybe
I
to
mean,
me in my
still
own
quick turner. I mean, what was that? Less than 2 years, right?
less than
For
2
the
years.
turnaround, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go. Remedy Games cooking more stuff up. I'll talk about them later when we
Man,
talk about
Sam
what we've
Lake.
been playing.
Sam Lake's the homie.
He's the best. He's the best.
I love Sam
Wait
Lake.
till you play Alan Wake too, because he is in that game.
His character,
He is
yeah.
all up in that game.
Is it? You could spoil this. This isn't
Yeah.
a spoiler. So he's not voicing the character, I assume, right?
No, he is. He's voicing his own
He's voicing
character.
too?
Oh yeah.
Let's
yeah.
go.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
go.
I mean, there's live action cutscenes,
Yeah.
and he's all up in those. He's
Oh,
having a great
he's also
time.
live action. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
I just assumed that they were dubbing his voice because, like, that's how they do in Max Payne. He was just the face of Max. He
Right,
wasn't
yeah.
like the voice.
Yeah,
That's
no,
funny that he's.
I mean, I guess I'm not 100% certain, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's.
Well, he's a
his
very
voice.
European accent.
Yeah, and also, I mean, he's in the live action scenes, and like I'm assuming
Yeah,
they're
true.
not dubbing over his voice.
I mean, they could. It's
Yeah,
entirely
sure,
possible.
it's entirely possible. All right, yeah, we'll talk about more Alan Wake 2 in a little bit. Our last news story though, a lot of Resident Evil 9 rumors have been going around the internet as of late. Daniel, I always enjoy talking about what's next for Resident Evil. So
Me too. I love it. So I
here,
haven't
let
seen these
me-
rumors though.
Yeah, let me give you some of this new information. This
Yeah,
comes
this is
from
not a story I've seen.
well-known Resident Evil leaker. So this guy has gotten stuff
I
about
get his
Resident
name?
Evil.
They
right
always
in the
have funny
past.
names.
I can't. Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, they always have fun.
It's
Well,
always
Bilbo
like
Coon?
some reset era gamer tag, type
Yes.
shit. Or I'm just
That's
like,
why I want to
alright.
hear it.
Yeah, I can't find it right now. I'm sorry.
Oh, come
Yeah,
on.
we'll try to get
You're
it. We'll try to
teasing.
get it. Anyways, the new details. Resident Evil 9 will have the biggest development budget out of any of the other games in the franchise.
That just makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Think we all kind of expect that. What else here then? It will also have the longest development time in the series, having started production in 2018. The earliest the game will be released though is 2025, making that a 7-year development cycle.
Whoa.
Yeah, could be a
What?
big game here. So, 2018. Yeah, that's
So then,
that's
are
a
we
long time
getting
ago.
another remake before? We have to be, right? The other team, because there's two
They could
teams,
take a
right?
year off next year.
Maybe.
I can see that.
Yeah. Because like we said, there is two teams. So like, who did RE4 was the main team.
Well, if you remember,
So
they
what-
took off that other team of RE4 remake
Yeah.
because they didn't like the direction that
So
one
then
was
they've been
going
working
in.
on something.
Yeah, you figure unless they just became a support studio, right?
That's entirely possible. I mean, you could be right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the last detail that came out with this, Resident Evil 9 will look to close some of the series threads that have been going on through the past couple games, while also opening up new storylines and setting the series into a new direction.
Kill Rose and the whole Winters family line, and we can move on.
Why you gotta kill? Why you hate Rose already? You don't even know.
No,
her.
I don't. You know what it is? Is change her name. She's not a Winter anymore. Like it's the Winter name.
Chris adopts her, Rose Redfield.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rose Redfield. Yeah, exactly. Get rid of it. We don't need the Winters anymore. The family, like Ethan's tainted the series.
Painted it. He fucking ruined it, Ethan.
Yep. I hate Ethan so much.
So yeah, I mean, this is all kind of expected. Nothing really like shockingly new here, I guess. But
Yeah.
still,
It's
more. We know Resident Evil 9's on the way, looking to close some of the threats. With this, I do wonder will it be first person or not now? You know, because in my mind I was like, there's no way it's gonna be third person. I think they're pivoting away from that. But now with this, if they're like looking to close the threads of the last two, kind of feel like you need it to be third person just to make that a little trilogy there. But I
I
don't know.
hope it's. I just want Resident Evil to be third person again.
Yeah,
It's not a first person franchise for me. And you kind of know, like I like 7 a lot, I like 8 a lot. They're not nearly as high on the Resident Evil list for me. But like I do really like these games. I know I joke a lot about Ethan. Like I mean, I think he sucks as a protagonist, but like there's a lot to like in those games. Um, but like I hope that this brings like at some point like we got to bring these other protagonists back, right? Like there are so many of them. We can't have all of them, of course. Like I would like a more obscure ones like Rebecca. Like we haven't seen Rebecca in I couldn't tell you. Like what was Zero? I
who
mean,
knows what Rebecca's up to? You know.
exactly. Like where's Rebecca? I mean, then you get the main ones. Like where's Leon? Where's Jill? Where's Claire?
Yeah.
Like you got to bring them back or Ada, right? Like they all of them they have to come back at some point. It
Or
can't just
Sheva.
be I mean, that'd be great. I'd love to have Sheva back, but there's also like a lot of people in 6 that that they could bring like a lot of the side characters, but like Sherry, like what's she doing, stuff like that. But yeah, I kind of hope that we. I don't want to say this because I don't want to sound like a 6 defender, but I kind of want how 6 kind of set it up where it's like you have all these different characters and they all have their own campaigns and stuff, right? Maybe that's why this game's so big. It's like, oh, you're doing a Leon story, you're doing a Claire story, you're doing a Jill story. Chris is doing his thing. Rose, I guess, it can have a story too, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of with you. I really like the first person aspect, so I wouldn't be too upset if they brought it back. But at the same time, I kind of have always pictured this one as just being okay. Let's continue on since these remakes do so well with Resident Evil 2 remake and Resident Evil 4 remake doing so well. Let's make another Leon game that's traditional Resident Evil third person over the shoulder, and go from there because they could probably knock that out of the park now after making the remakes, right?
Yeah, and it feels great in the third person movement that they have now. But who was the person that they used in first person? Ethan.
Ethan, yeah.
And spoilers, I'll wait. He died fantastically
That
in an explosion. Loved it so much. Smiled.
why
when
he's
he
got a
exploded.
daughter.
Yeah. He exploded in an amazing fashion. And it's like, oh well, that's the guy that you were using for first person, so he's gone. So maybe they even patched in that third person mode for him.
Yeah.
Right. So maybe the fact that he's dead, I don't know.
Maybe they do that. Maybe it's third and first.
Be like you could shift it. I
Yeah.
don't know. That feels like they
And
wouldn't.
that never works. I know, but like,
It
it's
works okay in
always
some games.
well. I mean, okay, so like Starfield, it's like it plays like shit in third person, right? It's just like
Yeah, but that's
no one
also
plays that.
Bethesda.
And then Rockstar games, they do it too, but that plays like shit in first person. So it's like
That's true.
it's
That's
like
true.
really neither of them work both ways, right? It's like I've yet to see a game that works like really well in both, right? So yeah, I don't know. Maybe
the only other
Resident Evil
game
could
that
try
comes
and
to
go
my
for
head
that.
is Rainbow Six Vegas, but it's not like always in third person, but
Yeah.
you like it becomes a third person cover shooter.
Sure.
And it feels good as a third person cover shooter. And then you also get first person. But
Halo, you get in the vehicles, that feels good, but
yeah,
Yeah.
you're right with the vehicles.
a little bit.
Well, you get the mounted weapons and that's third person and that feels fun.
Yeah.
You get the big turret or whatever, like it feels good. You're just kind of shooting that. Yeah, I just picked third person. We don't need Resident Evil to be first person. We don't.
Sure.
It's just that comes from the FPS guy. You know what I mean? Like for me to say that, it's like that should mean a lot. I'm an FPS person, so I just I don't need it for Resident Evil.
Don't need it in my resi. Don't need it.
Nope.
All right. Well, very excited. Yeah. Do you think we get a Resident Evil game next year of some sort? If this isn't coming out to 2025, do you think 5
Well,
remake is next year? Maybe. I mean,
when were the Well,
that'd
think
be
about
quick.
this. Think about when were those rumors that they were taken off? Wasn't that 2021?
that they were taking off, like the team
Yeah.
was taking off. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
remember
the Resident Evil 3 team was taken off.
Oh
When
yeah.
was
oh,
that
taken
rumor?
off of Resident Evil 4.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
Gosh. Yeah, that must
Or
have
was
been
that the
2021. Yeah.
or the
right
beginning of
around there.
last year, maybe? Right?
Yeah, it must have been
At the latest?
Yeah. around
So
there.
it's like, think about that. It's like, well, what have they been doing for 2 years? I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, they could have been support, but they've been doing something. So why not have them put to RE5? I
yeah,
mean, that's definitely the next remake.
yeah. It's got. I mean,
Like, it has to
that
be.
was pretty
I know.
well hinted at too at
Yeah,
the end of Resident Evil 4 remake. So yeah, it seems like that's the
I want
direction they're
Code
going in.
Veronica as well, but like, because that's one I actually haven't played.
Yeah,
But
I think they're
like,
afraid how much that one would sell. You know,
probably.
'cause if you don't have the number next to it,
But
people
it's
are
like
like,
Resident
"Whoa,
Evil
what's
doesn't
that?" You
sell
know.
that well, anyways.
Yeah, they sell pretty fucking well, honestly. I
I
think
don't. I
4
mean,
remake just passed like 5 million, 4 million,
it's
something
about
like
five.
that.
It's
Yeah,
very good,
yeah,
but you would think it's. I mean, you would think it's a
sure.
titan of the industry. It's not.
Yeah, they
You
sell
know.
well over time too, right? Resident Evil
Yeah.
7 just became the highest selling Resident Evil game, right? After years, right? So, I mean, those are games that sell well over time, and that's like at like 12 million ish. I know what you mean. It's not fucking Nintendo numbers, but you
Yeah.
know, they're definitely respectable if you take Nintendo
I mean,
out of the
it's
equation.
definitely one of the most popular franchises in gaming. But like
Certainly, I mean, certainly the
overall,
most popular survival horror series out there, right? By far.
I mean, yeah, name something even close. You
There's
probably
nothing.
couldn't, right?
Yeah.
People love Silent Hill, but it's not even
No, I mean,
close.
Silent Hill hasn't even put out a game in fucking forever, so.
Yeah, and even in terms of cachet, it's just not.
No, yeah, it's not even, I mean, Dead Space isn't close. Alan Wake isn't close, so yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well,
Well,
exciting times. We'll see.
yeah.
We'll see.
I would
I'd
like
expect a
an
reveal
announcement of
of
the
it.
game
Yeah,
soon.
exactly. I'd expect a reveal of it probably early next year. You know, at
Yeah, they
maybe
always go to
Game
that
Awards,
teaser.
even something like that. I
Yeah,
could
do
see
that
that.
teaser. Come
Yeah,
on,
give me a little teaser there, a little something, something. You
tease
know.
me. Oh no, they're gonna do the Monster Hunter teaser. They're not gonna have both.
Oh yeah, good point. Good point. I'm surprised they didn't save the Separate Ways DLC for Resident Evil 4 until next year. That way they have something Resident Evil next year, right?
Yeah,
Because they
well
seem to
maybe
like
they do.
something yearly, right? Yeah,
Maybe
maybe
they
they
do.
do, right? Maybe another remake or something like that, right? So,
Show us a new Sheva. That's what they're gonna do.
ooh, I would love
Yeah,
that. I would love that.
yeah. I know you like Sheva a lot.
Love Shove. Love Shove. That Resident Evil 5 remake's gonna be pretty hype.
Yeah, it is. They're gonna show right at the end of that trailer. It's gonna be the gator grabbing Chris, and then it's gonna cut.
And then and it cuts and you just hear, I need a herb.
Sheva, shut up! I'm
Shut up,
fighting a
Shove.
gator.
Damn it. All right, we will now move on to what we've been playing. Daniel.
Yes.
Yeah, sweet. So, what have you been playing? A lot of games come out
Um.
recently.
Yeah. So I've been playing the two obvious games, and not that far as compared to some other people,
Just
but
Sant and I need something else obscure.
I can tell you one that just dropped literally today
Oh,
or
what's that?
yesterday, and I was gonna play it, but I couldn't today. But the Alien Hominid Invasion
Oh,
just came
there
out
you
too.
go. There you
Remember,
go. Yeah,
first of the month, I think. I think it
those
was
are two
yesterday.
games you're playing.
Yep, those are the two games. No, of course it's Super Mario Wonder, and Spider-Man 2. I guess I'll just start with Super Mario Wonder. I am playing co-op, so it's actually a little easier playing co-op than it is, by yourself. But I think I am in the fourth world. Yeah, the fourth world. Very fun. Love the game. Very charming. Pretty much every bit of the game I love. The animation, the new powers are fun. Being the elephant, you can like suck up water and like spray water and stuff. We just got to like the drill power now. Now I'm seeing the drill power a little more. That one's interesting. You can like dig into stuff, and they're like little puzzles for that. The bubble one's ridiculous. You like just shoot bubbles, and it'll basically kill something instantly. So like if you do like a Koopa, you'll bubble the Koopa, and then it'll kill it, and then there'll be a coin inside.
That's
And
a
then you just go get the
brutal
coin.
death for that
It's
fucking Koopa.
I don't know what that bubble's made of. You're really like melting a Koopa, then it becomes a coin.
Daniel, I
Crazy.
have also played Mario Wonder.
No, you
I
haven't.
have. Yeah,
Really?
yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm
Let's
not far. I'm
go.
not far at all.
Okay,
I've only
let's
played a couple
go.
levels. This is gonna be like my UFC game where I played in between fights and stuff like that for a
Okay,
little
you play
while.
handheld?
Yeah, yeah. Well, mostly, and then like after I'm done playing Alan Wake for a little bit, I'll turn it off for like 30 minutes before I go to bed.
This is good
It's
because you could just do a level.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I also gotta get the fucking nightmares out of my head before I
Just
before
watch
I go to
Mario
bed.
smile.
Yeah, I'm just like, all right, let's go to this world. But yeah, I'm actually quite enjoying it a little bit. It is very
Okay,
charming, like
good.
you said. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I really love the wonder mechanic. I get
Yes.
very excited to see what they're doing at the wonder
And some of them
mechanic.
you gotta find too.
Yeah, No, I do get very annoyed when I miss the Wonder Seed for that level and I beat the level. I'm like, fuck, man. And then,
Where's that
you got to
second
replay
seed?
it. Yeah, I'm like, because I got to go find it. That's the whole point, right? I got to go see the Wonder Thing. So, yeah, I'm not far at all. But, yeah, I'm
Are you
enjoying
still in
my
the
time
first
thus
world?
far. I think I beat the first world. I think.
Okay.
I think
So
I'm
did
like
you get to
just
like
past
the
that.
that middle island, and then you go to the second one?
Yeah, I went to a different island. So like I
Yeah,
got
it's called
enough Wonder
Petal
Seeds to
Isle.
get past the first blockade or whatever the fuck, right? The first level that you gotta
You will
beat.
know when you beat the world because you fight a boss.
Okay, maybe I haven't then. Maybe I haven't beat
And
the first
yeah,
world then. Yeah.
yeah, you have to get to. There's like a middle island. It's called like Petal Island or Petal
Okay.
Isles or something. That is kind of like a not a hub. It's not a hub, but it's you keep going back to this like thing, and then you go to the next world basically.
Okay. Cool.
So that's kind of
So yeah,
like
I
you'll
don't think
know.
I have then. Yeah.
Okay,
But
so
I've
yeah,
played
you're
a
still
handful of levels, so I don't know,
okay.
probably like 8 or so. So I don't know. Yeah.
Then you must be really close.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, you must be close to the first fight. Yeah, the wonder like seeds when you do it and you trip balls and you start doing stuff. There are some really fun ones.
Yeah, man.
Like
I
I
I,
don't
I
want to
love
like
how they're all
spoil any of
different
them.
too. Like I was like, oh
Yeah,
man, you guys really put the work in there. You know.
like not only are the wonder seeds different when you do that stuff. Like it seems like most of the levels are just different. Like you're just constantly doing new unique things every level, even within the same world.
Yeah.
Like it's not like if you think about other Mario's, when you go to like the sand world, it's like you're just getting sand levels that kind of feel similar with some changes and stuff.
Sure.
Like as much as I love classic Mario, like the worlds wouldn't really change within the worlds, but like this game, it's like we're just giving you new things to do all the time, you know. And
Yeah.
then you get the Wonder Seed.
I got stuck on a really hard one actually yesterday. It wasn't like really hard, but like it was like the Wonder Seed was the bowls, and that was like the whole point of the level actually. Like you had to get the Wonder Seed. And like it even said the level was difficult before I jumped in it. So it
I'm
had like
trying
a
to
certain
remember
amount of
what you had to
stars or
do.
whatever.
Do you
Yeah,
remember?
you just had to like ride the bowls. You grab the Wonder Seed, then
Oh
the bowls come
yes,
running
yes,
through. Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah, and it was actually
Yeah,
like really difficult.
that took us a few tries.
Yeah, yeah, that was a tough level.
Yeah, that's
That was the last one I did though.
you kind of have to keep it a pace with them
Yeah.
with the bulls. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's even playing co-op like I think end up beating that level and she just couldn't keep up at some point.
Yeah, how does co-op work exactly then? So like if she couldn't keep up, does she just like spawn with you?
She'll just bubble
Yeah. Oh, okay.
sometimes.
Bubbles with
Then
you.
you
Yeah.
so you become like a ghost and then you there's like a 5-second window where you like have to like get to the person. So once you get them, it'll pop you back out.
Oh, okay.
That's if you die, you just become you're like a baby. If like you go off screen and then it bubbles you, you do get to keep your power up or whatever.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's
Nice.
nice. So if you're an elephant, you'll remain the
Keep that.
elephant.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets a little bit much when you're trying to do a lot. Like sometimes she'll be ahead and boom, and then I get bubbled myself or whatever. So the game, I think, even with just two people, has a hard time sometimes. Like especially screen real estate.
Hmm.
Like there is a crown over someone's head, and that generally means like the camera's following you,
Okay.
right? So that's even in the open world. Is if the crown's over your head. It for some reason it's bounced between both of us sometimes. I don't know how that works with the crown. I don't know if it's like if you're the one that started the level or how that works, but yeah, that bowl one was pretty tough. But definitely like a few levels into the fourth world, which is like a more deserty type world right now. Very much enjoying the game. Pretty much. I mean, I gotta see where it lands when I beat the game, but I don't know. This is this could take like very high up in my game of the year. You know how much I like my Mario, so
Yeah, I like the badges too. The badge system. That's fun.
I
And
didn't even
the
I didn't even
hat
mention the
thing is
badge
really cool.
system.
Yeah.
The hat one's very very good.
I just got the
I
wall
think
jump one or whatever.
yeah, so instead of like being launched away, you launch up
Yeah.
first. Yeah, that one's an interesting one. I didn't really use that one too
I wish you
much.
could like equip them all at once. You know?
Oh man,
Yeah,
yeah.
that'd be a lot, I guess. But
I'm
like
excited
that'd
for
be
the
fun.
grappling hook.
Is there a
That was in the
grappling hook?
trailer.
Oh
When we talked
wow.
about, yeah, I don't even. I think it's a vine. I'm waiting for
Jesus.
that one because I'm going to use that so much.
Yeah.
you know?
I didn't know they put a grappling hook in
Yeah, they
this.
did.
Oh wow. All right.
I think we have like 9 badges right now. I think that's kind of where we are.
You know how many worlds there are?
It looks like there's 7, but there
Seven?
might be
Okay.
8. Might be the final, like the final one.
Like, yeah, they hide that.
And then, yeah, then there might be like a secret world, kind of like in Super Mario World. You had like the Star Lane, basically, or Star whatever they called that, Star whatever, where that's like the hardest that's the end game levels. I think that they're probably going to have end game levels too. So there's probably technically 9, is what I would guess if I would just throw my guess out there. Probably 7, and then 8's the final one, and then yeah, one at the end. But yeah, I'm loving Wonder.
Cool.
Great game. Love my 2D Mario. Then I'm playing Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2. Um, and yeah, how far am I? Definitely a few hours. I'll try to say where I am without really like spoiling anything. Um, I'm at like a Coney Island mission.
Okay.
I'm at like a.
I'd say when you beat that part, you're about of a third through the game.
This is about a third.
Yeah.
That's much further than I thought I was.
Yeah.
Okay. Um,
Probably
I'm
like the
really.
end of Act 1 is the end of the Coney Island bit, I would
There's,
say.
you would say it's a 3. You're doing it as a 3-act thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, that's about where I am. I guess much further than I thought it was. Yeah, I'm really enjoying the game. The traversal is it's amazing. I like the spider wing. It feels really good. Uh, this might just be me in my own head. Like, I don't like that it's there more like I don't think Spider-Man should be doing this. You know what I mean?
Oh, I've
Like
heard this from so many people. I don't get it. I don't
like
understand it.
for me, it's like you're already swinging fast.
I've heard,
You know what
yeah,
I
I
mean?
think Maddie talked about this. He was like, I didn't use the wings at
Oh,
all.
I'm using it.
Yeah,
I'm
I was
not. I'm not doing
okay.
that
At least
far.
you're not that far, because I thought that was ridiculous. I was like, you're taking away one of the most fun aspects of this game just
Oh, it's very
because.
fun.
Yeah, no,
It,
no, no, no. I'm just saying, it's just like, I mean, just from other people I've heard, I was just like, why would you take away having fun just because you
yeah,
don't feel like it's Spider
I'm
Man?
not crazy
I
like
was
that.
just like, that's weird to me.
That's weird. I'm not crazy like that.
Yeah, yeah.
I just think it's more of like I know that even like in the movie, like I think the Tom Holland one, he has something like that, but like I don't know. For me, it's just like I don't really think Peter would ever really do something like that. But that's just me. It is fun though. I like doing it a little bit, and you can only do so much because you start losing your momentum. You have to kind of keep swinging or stuff like that.
There's
Yeah, it's
actually
very
a
fun.
trophy to do it from one end of the map to the other in like a
Oh,
diagonal thing. Yeah, and that was really cool. That
is
was
it like a specific distance,
yeah, it's a
basically?
specific distance. It's a specific section, whatever they call it, city
Oh, okay,
part, and then to a different city part, and you have to like really
gotcha.
you have to like map out the wind tunnels and stuff like that because you can only use the wingsuit, and that was a really fun trophy. Go for it. Yeah.
Oh, that's an interesting trophy.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I think it's so far it's been pretty great. The the story's been pretty slow. Um, they have a lot more, I feel like, just walk sections than I really remember from like the first game. I know Miles had a few, and I know the original had a few too. Um, I don't. I'm not gonna say that it really ruins the pace of the game, but like I don't know. Here just now, like you kind of like threw me for a bit just hearing that I was like a third of the way through. Like I feel like I haven't barely even touched the story yet,
Sure.
or at
Yeah.
least in terms of what I imagine this plot to even be, right? Like I barely know anything about the symbiote and Venom. I barely know anything about Craven, and that's like I'm just a third of the way through. It's like, is this gonna be boom, boom, storyline? Like are they gonna throw the kitchen sink at me very quickly? You know what I mean? Like, is this just gonna be that fast of a pace?
It feels like a very quick game. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's
Like
interesting. It
looking
feels like
back
they're
on
trying.
it now, like I've platinum it. Like yeah, it does feel very quick. I mean, maybe that's just I know. I mean, it took 30 hours to platinum, but yeah. I mean, the story does feel very quick. It goes by
Does it feel
fast.
like it was shoved like too much too quick?
No,
Because
so
that's what I'm
like
gonna.
for me, Peter's story felt very good, and that felt like a ramp up, and that's kind of
Okay.
like what you're talking about, where like it starts off very slow, but they kind of have to like set the table with the relationship with Harry and what's going on with
Yeah.
MJ and stuff like that. For me, Peter's story felt very good with the ramp up, and like
Okay.
by Act 3, it was just like let's fucking go. And then for me, Miles' story. I like the beginning of Miles' story, and then I felt like Act 2 Miles' story really took a dip. I felt like they really
I
it,
I I
It
keep hearing
almost
that they.
it almost felt like they didn't know what to do with Miles in the middle of the game, you know?
Okay.
And that's definitely the most unfortunate part of the story to me is it kind of felt like they struggled balancing the two, you know, a
That's
little
what I
bit.
keep hearing. Is that
Yeah,
it
in the
feels like
middle part.
Miles kind of
I
drew the
will say
short
though,
straw.
at the end, I felt like Miles' story really did come together, and there's some
Okay,
really
good,
great emotional beats with Miles towards the end of the game, definitely in the
good.
third act of the game, and definitely when it comes together at the end, I really felt like that did. But yeah, I do feel like, especially in Act Two, you'll notice that like Miles' story is like, man, what the fuck's going on with Miles? You know,
Yeah,
it's
they
just
just focus on Peter.
I mean, you are playing as Miles still, so they are focusing on Miles still, but it's just kind of just like it just kind of almost felt like nothing was happening with him.
He's not
Really,
important. Yeah.
yeah, and it was just
Okay.
kind of, or maybe it was partly me too that like I just wanted to get back to Peter's story at one point, you know. So I
Yeah.
don't know. Yeah, I
Okay.
felt like they struggled with that balance.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm interested to see where the story goes because, like, yeah, it feels like I'm doing stuff still in this first act, but yeah, very slow, very just about the relationships right now.
Yeah,
Like, and I kind of see what you're talking about setting up Miles. Like,
I
no
think
spoilers, but there's
yeah,
a lot of with Martin Lee and like
yeah.
Mr. Negative, and
I
that's
think
really
that
all they're
stuff
setting up with
really
him.
comes together. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
but like I'm not really sure what else you're really talking about with Miles, unless you're talking
sure.
about like his school age stuff. But um, yeah, I'm gonna keep playing. I'm gonna play some more today. Um, yeah, I'd be curious to talk to you when I'm done and like see what you have to say about the story and like how compare it to the other two games and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
very curious what you think.
Yeah, I know. So last week I was right at the end of the game, but now I've beaten it, I've platinumed it and all that, and yeah, man, I loved it. I had a fantastic time. It again, it was one of those. I don't think this game like exceeded my expectations. A lot like Starfield, you know. I don't think it like really exceeded my expectations, but definitely just met expectations, you know. And yeah, I had a great time. And traversals definitely stand out to me. I thought the wingsuit was fucking incredible. I thought that was awesome. It feels so good to play those, and especially with the more and more upgrades you get and stuff like that. I think by the end of it, right before the platinum, I was like having the most fun with the traversal, and that's what you want. And that was super fun. Yeah, the story, like I was just talking about, took a bit of a dip with Miles side, especially, but I really love the symbiote stuff with Peter. I thought it was really great, and I actually really enjoyed Craven too. You know, I thought his stuff came together really well, and Venom and all that. And yeah, I'll be curious to see what you think about it as well. But yeah, I actually really loved the story by the end of it, especially the ending.
Okay.
Man, the last like 3-4 hours of the game are just like awesome, like so fucking good. So yeah, I don't want to spoil anything, but I got to shit on the MJ missions again because like I did last week. Me and Sis were talking about them. They try, and like I've listened to spoiler casts, and the guy, Brian, whatever his name is,
Into
into
her.
heart, yeah, he tries to defend them a little bit, and he talks about why they're in the game, and he was just like,
They're just not
we,
necessary.
yeah, they're not necessary, and they are better than the first game,
It could be a cutscene.
but they are still not necessary. Or I'd rather just walk as MJ, you know, because they introduce like a stealth element as MJ, and it's just like, why are you guys trying to shoe in a stealth game
Because they're
in
trying to
just these little
pad time.
parts? And like, yeah, maybe they are trying to patent parts, but like according to him, he was like, no, we want to show MJ as the hero, that she can also be the
She's
hero as
not.
well. And it's like, okay, but
It's
like
not what she
I just
does.
don't like you introduce these stealth parts that are not of the quality of the Spider-Man game, you know, and it's like you're just
People want to be
bringing,
swinging and
you are
fighting.
dragging your own thing down, you know. So it's
Yeah.
just, I don't know, weird choice. They are very quick, right? They're probably like, I think there's 3 MJ missions, all 15 minutes each. So it's like, all right,
Okay.
you play about 45 minutes of MJ in these stupid stealth sections, and they are the worst part of the game for
Yeah.
sure. And you know, I wouldn't even mind if you play as MJ and you're just walking around learning new lore bits and stuff like that. I love stuff like that. You know, give me that type of stuff all day, but do not introduce these stealth mechanics in the third one because they are fucking bad. I gotta shout out the side quests, man. They all really fucking came together, dude. The end of each of the side quests is like so fucking cool. They all give you like, even the little ones like collecting the spider bots and stuff, they all give you a really cool story beat at the end of those that are like, you know, they either like hint at something for the future or they like wrap up a cool little storyline that's going on in Spider-Man 2. And I was like, man, you guys did those like really well. So
I definitely
I gotta shout
keep
those
hearing
out.
that. So I
Yeah. And
I'll
there's
say
some
this too.
unique side quests in there too that are like something completely unexpected, you know, or like you play as a character you weren't expecting, and they do like something unique with that, and like you don't see another side quest that's like that one again in the game, and it's
Oh.
like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, I keep hearing about how these side quests and where they go, but like I don't know what it is for me in this game so far. From what I've been playing, like compared to the first two games, I felt like I was kind of pacing and doing a bunch of random stuff kind of as I was going. But I feel like in this game, I have had almost no interest other than like what people have told me to do them because there's some cool stuff. Like
Interesting, yeah.
I've just felt maybe it's me and just how I've been playing. Like I or maybe it's how they're pacing it to me with these things and like kind of how they reveal themselves in the map and all that. I don't know. I just have not really been drawn to doing very many right now.
Hmm.
In this, I guess, first third that I've been playing. I've done a little bit, but not much.
Yeah, for me, it was very much like the first two, where I swing past something, I just want to do that. So I'm like, okay, let's do that then real quick.
Yeah.
As long as I'm not like right in the middle of a story mission, it's I swing past one of the prowler missions or something like that. I'm sure you've seen those, or spider bot or something
Hmm.
like that. I'm like, oh, okay, let's do that real quick. So I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe I just need to force myself to do some more.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I would highly recommend doing all of them and then just seeing what the ending of those are, because you will get hyped by the end of those story beats, just depending on how big of a Spider-Man fan you are. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And I
love the game,
think
man. It was
that's
a great time. Fun platinum as well. Very quick
yeah.
platinum. Insomniac knows what they're doing with these trophy lists. They are just like, all right, cool. Let's
Make them easy.
make them easy. Make them rewarding, and there you go. And
And they give you levels like candy. It's insane.
yeah,
There are so many things popping every time you beat a mission. It's like level up, skill point,
At,
go
at
do
some point,
this.
I want to talk about spoilers, because there's like a couple of these side quests I really want to talk about, like get
Okay.
really heavy into spoilers and stuff like that, and the ending of the game and stuff like that too. I would love to get into spoilers. So yeah, kind of a hard game to talk about without getting super into spoilers, but
Is Super Setup 3?
yeah,
Okay.
think so. Think so. And then I have started Alan
Yeah, I
Wake
haven't played
2.
anything else, so
Okay,
yeah.
yeah, I've started Alan Wake 2. I'm not very far. I'm like 3 to 4 hours in, right around there.
So
I'd
do
say.
you immediately get to pick who you play
No,
or
so it's like first two levels chapters you play as Saga, and then the second or no, third and fourth level you play as Alan Wake, and then you get to pick.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
and then yeah, so it kind of sets up both their stories, and then it's like,
Gotcha.
okay,
That's cool.
play as which one you wish. I think I'm gonna do it kind of how they introduced it. I'm gonna do 2 levels Saga, 2 levels Alan, 2 levels Saga, 2 levels Alan.
You
I'm
think
gonna
that's
go
how they
back like they
want you to do that
yeah,
way?
I don't know. I don't know. I have to play through the whole thing to see how it's like necessarily paced out. I know Greg Miller played all of Saga and then all of Alan, and I don't know how that worked out for him. And but
Definitely need you to tell me so that when I play, I'll
yeah,
try to do
pick
it
the
that way.
best one. I just figured they introduce it as 2 and 2, right? So it's like, okay,
Yeah.
maybe you guys kind of want that way to go with that. But yeah, it's kind of interesting the way they do it, because this is another game hard to talk about. That's hard to talk about without getting into spoilers. But like, it's kind of
Hmm.
Alan's story kind of takes place like before Saga's, but like also at the same time, and it's this weird mind fuck
Okay.
thing going
Interesting.
on there. So yeah, it's very interesting.
So you've done both sets already.
I've done both sets. I'm at the beginning of chapter 5,
Okay.
which I'll start as Saga, and then I'm gonna do, like I said, do 2 chapters of start. Yeah.
Where you playing this at?
What am I
You doing it
playing?
on PlayStation?
Oh,
You doing
yeah,
it on
I'm on
PlayStation?
PlayStation.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, I'm on PlayStation, and yeah, man, what a fucking vibe thus far this game is. It is very trippy. It feels like it really feels like a Stanley Kubrick movie fucking
Oh,
put in
let's
a
go.
video
That sounds
game,
awesome.
yeah,
Yeah.
like a indie A24 horror film, like come
Cool.
into a video game. And it feels very different from Control. It feels very different from Alan Wake 1 even. It's like, I don't feels this is a really unique game thus far, where I'm just like, wow, this is like super interesting, the stuff they're getting into. There's a lot of like live action cutscenes going on, especially in Alan's part, and that gets very trippy. And then Saga's part is, you're kind of an FBI agent detective stuff going on. So they kind of introduce you into a whole detective scenario going on. There's a cult that murdered someone, and that's kind of where you
Okay.
start off from. So it's kind of like Saga is kind of like,
True
if
Detective
you
season 1.
yeah, kind of. It will add like a paranormal element to True
A little
Detective.
bit more paranormal. Yeah.
Yeah, add like that in the True Detective, and yeah, you're spot on. And Saga's kind of like, if you haven't like really played Alan Wake or Control, and like you can kind of get introduced to the world through her a little bit more. She knows
Okay.
just as much as you do, right? And then Alan's stuff, I felt like, oh, you really need to know your shit with Control and Alan Wake One
Okay.
with Alan's stuff. I felt like, so yeah, I would brush up on that stuff before you start it. Is
Of Alan Wake 1 probably for me.
yeah, maybe
Okay.
watch a couple recap videos on YouTube and
Sure.
stuff like that. Alan Wake One and Control, and you'll be good to go before you hop into Alan stuff. But yeah, thus
Okay.
far, man, the game is so fucking beautiful, man. This is the best game I've ever seen right now. Like at the moment, this the
Whoa.
fidelity wise, like dude, it looks incredible when you're
What's the
playing
name of
it.
their engine again? You said it
Northlight
earlier.
engine.
Northlight. Okay.
Yeah, it
I like that.
looks
I like that they're using their own proprietary stuff still. That's interesting. You see
yeah.
a lot just using Unreal now.
Yeah, a lot of people going to Unreal, which is interesting too, because they Epic published this game, so you would have thought, right, Unreal,
Yeah,
right?
good
Yeah,
point.
yeah,
Very good
but
point.
yeah, they want to stick with their own, and
I mean, Control looked
shit
fantastic
paid
at
off.
the time.
Yeah, especially you ever boot up the next gen version of Control?
Haven't
No,
no.
oh yeah, that looks beautiful too. But this game, I mean, like I said, it's probably the best looking game I've ever seen.
How's that lighting? Because like
Like
even the trailers,
when
the lighting
yeah,
looks
with the
cool.
flashlight looks so good, and that
Yeah.
you
You
get
get
that.
a lot of those reds. Is that or is that just trailer
Oh,
stuff?
you get a lot of them, yeah.
You
Because
get okay.
so we'll talk about sagas after, but like Alan's part, Alan at the end of Alan Wake One, he's trapped in the dark place, and he's still trapped there in his section of the game in Alan Wake Two, and the dark place has kind of been, I think, just kind of like reimagined in his own head into New
Okay.
York, right, or like a fictional version of New York, and so that's where you see a lot of the lights and a lot of the reds and stuff like that, right? And then Alan has this super interesting mechanic where he gets this lamp, right? And every time he takes light away, he can give light to something else, right? And then you can like that's you go in the light to get away from the enemies, right? That's kind of like a you
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
yeah. There's save points set throughout, but that's like a safe area, right? When you put the light
Yeah. So
there,
you're like lighting a light, and then you
yeah.
just walk into it.
Yeah, but then what ends up happening too is like Alan's kind of writing his story in his head, and the story is changing the world right
Cool.
around him, and
Yeah.
that becomes like a Titanfall 2 shift the world mechanic. If you you remember that level in Titanfall 2, right, where like you switch back and forth between the levels.
Oh, cause and effect.
Yeah, cause and effect. Yeah, so it's like it's I wouldn't say it's like as drastic as that, but there's like multiple different versions of the level. So like you go back into your head,
Huh.
which is kind of like a menu area, right? And then it's this whole
Yeah,
room
I'm
Alan
very
can walk.
curious just to see like how that even looks and works.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't want to interrupt you.
So you just press like the touchpad, right? Or I don't know what the fuck you're
The
pressing.
start button. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. And then you kind of go in there, and that's kind of like the menu for the game, I'd say. But it's
So is it like Star Wars, like the Jedi series, where like you're seeing like Cal sit there or something, like in the first
well,
game where
Alan
he's
can
like sitting
move.
there?
Yeah, like you can move. I mean, Saga has this too, but with
So you're
her
moving in the
detective
menu?
stuff. A little bit, yeah. It's there's no
Huh.
like skill trees and shit like that. So it's like so Alan, he's trying to make a story to get him out of the dark place, right? That's his whole
Yeah.
story, right?
Okay.
And so he's piecing the story together in his head in that room, right? So you can go to that room at any time, right? And you
Okay.
just press the touchpad and you're there. And then that's how you can also you shift the world that way too, right? It's like he gets a new part for the story. He gets a new idea
New room
for his
opens or something.
story, right? And then or like you find a new room, and then he gets an idea in that room for the story, and then you go on the board and you put
Ah.
that in, and then you're back in the world, and then it shifts into an entirely new looking level, right?
What is
Yeah,
this
it's a
game?
fucking trip, bro.
What is this
It's a
game?
trip.
I need to
I'm
play
not
this
even doing
game.
justice like explaining this. It's kind of
Man,
you
forget
just
Spider-Man. I need
you
to play
kind of
this
just have
game.
to see it because it's a
Yeah,
fucking
what
mind
is
fuck. It
happening?
really is, yeah. And so I'm just loving his part right away. It's very scary. This game is horrifying. It really is. Like it's
That gets me excited.
yeah,
Love it.
yeah. It should. It's one of the scariest games I've played. So yeah, I don't know how deep I want to go here, but then Saga's side is she's a detective. She's trying to piece this together, and that's what her room is. She's trying to piece
Hmm.
together the mystery of the cult, of the murders going on and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so you go into her room, and she kind of has like this intuition. So you find things throughout the world, like you find these pages of the manuscript that Alan's writing, and that's kind of a trip too because Alan's writing the story that you're playing through. right? So like she kind of gets little hints throughout that, and then she can put pieces together throughout that, or you
Yeah, she has
find
like a mind palace, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like it's the same mechanic as Alan's, but she's like I said, she's putting together an
Yeah, it's
investigation while
thematically
Alan
different.
is writing a book, right? Yeah. So yeah, she then goes into her room to solve the murder mystery. And then when you find new pieces or new parts of the mystery or new lore bits or something like that, she puts that on the board. And that doesn't change the world, but that can give her hints of what's going on in the story so that you can move forward. So you kind of like have to do this stuff and like you want to look around as much as possible and find as much stuff as possible so that she can put together the murder mystery and stuff like that. And so, like I said, I'm only 3 to 4 hours in, so I'm just kind of getting started here. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it thus far. Saga is a really cool character so far. I'm like,
Yeah, that's the most fascinating because it's like I kind
yeah,
of know Alan at least a little bit, so
yeah,
it's like okay, I kind of know what I'm getting with him. I'm very interested in like you know, I mean, this is gonna even knowing the answer would be a spoiler for me. It's like why did they choose to have a new protagonist as well? You know, like
yeah,
there's a reason. There's a story that they wanted to tell with Saga,
yeah,
and not
hundred
just have
percent.
Alan Wake 2 just be Alan, right?
Yeah,
Like you would think that would be. It's like they chose to have these two protagonists. There's a story here, and like why? Like what's the reason?
yeah. So yeah, man. I mean, I am just loving what they're setting up this far. Like I said, it doesn't feel like Alan Wake One. It doesn't feel like Control. It's a completely unique thing,
That's
and
awesome.
yeah, I think that's just awesome to see. You know, it's like there's elements of Alan Wake One. Don't get me wrong. There's elements of Control too,
Is
but
there
like
elements of Resident Evil?
yeah. Oh, dude, 100%,
Yeah.
100%. So
Okay.
they were definitely inspired by Resident Evil in some parts, especially in like
Maybe
this
two.
in the save rooms. There's a shoebox there, and you can store stuff in the shoebox. And then when you get to
Uh,
other save rooms, right, you can open the shoebox, take out stuff from the inventory and stuff like that. So that's straight out Resident Evil. And then
yeah.
of course there's the survival horror aspect. I mean, you're never really fighting like Alan Wake One, dude. You were fighting like multiple enemies at the
Yeah.
same time and just shooting through them, running gun and shit like that. This game, it's never more than like 2 or 3 enemies. It's traditional survival horror. You gotta
Low
really
ammo.
low ammo. You gotta really look around and scrounge for stuff. And so yeah, I'm really enjoying it this far. Like I said, only a few hours in, so definitely gonna keep playing.
Yeah, man, I'm so excited for our awards at the end of the year. This is gonna be
This
insane.
year's
I can't
nuts because
even. I
I
can't even.
honestly I was not expecting Alan Wake 2 to be this good.
I don't think
like
anyone was, to
and
be
like
honest.
man they're just blowing me away here. It just really feels like Remedy, it really feels like they were just allowed to like, hey man, what's your craziest fucking thought here? With like, what do you want to make this game? What do you, because like he's been stewing on Alan Wake 2 for so long now. It's been
Yeah,
13 years since the last Alan
yeah,
Wake game, so it's like he's just been having ideas for this over the last decade. And you can really tell he put Sam Lake and the team really put all their love and effort into this.
yeah. I'm also curious about like this seems to have a lot more live action stuff too.
Yeah, yeah, especially on
Like does that
Alan's
feel
side.
smooth?
Oh yeah, yeah. It
Yeah,
looks great too, like just the way they transition into that.
how they trans.
They'll
Yeah.
do the pan into stuff, or like he'll turn around in live action, and all of a sudden it shifts to the video game, and then
Oh,
it's like that. Yeah, sometimes it's not like all the time they do that, but like
yeah.
it happens quite a few
I
times.
guess
Especially
as
like
face tech gets crazier, like it'll be
yeah, yeah.
easier,
Oh
right?
yeah, it looks better and better, right? And yeah, especially like the first when you're first playing as Alan, they open with like a good like 10 minute, almost 15 minute live action scene, and you're just
Ooh,
like, wow, this is a fucking trip, you know?
yeah,
Yeah, and then
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
Sam Lake's just all over the place in this game too.
Let's
He
go,
puts
dude.
himself in everywhere. It's hilarious. It really is. Yeah, his character was because he's Saga's partner.
Yeah, yeah, he's the partner.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. His character is fucking awesome too. So
that's so
yeah, I'd
cool.
love to see it. It was so cool, like exploring Bright Falls again too. Just getting that
Sure.
nostalgia from the first one again. I was like, oh, that's really fucking cool. So yeah, loving it this far. I can't wait to play more.
Yeah, yeah, I'm excited. It's definitely like I'm trying to play games as quick as I can, like it's definitely like
It's rough out
next
here.
up, right? Like that's next up. Like it's try to beat Spider-Man, Mario. I'm playing co-op, so I can kind of like trickle it a little bit, and then it's like a Dragon Gaiden, Call of Duty I could beat pretty quick,
Yeah.
So
Cool. All right. Well, we are out of time here. That's going to do it for Nerd Gods Podcast, episode 195. Thank you all so much for watching. Please remember to subscribe to us over at youtube.com/nerdgods. You can also find us available on all audio platforms. Daniel, anything else you want to say?
um, it sucks about all these layoffs. I hope that at some point, we can just maybe find a more steady, safe medium for a lot of these developers.
What a downer note to go out on, Daniel.
That was my plan.
That's the industry. All right. Bye bye, everybody.
Everybody.